The girl glanced around the train car, hoping for a chance encounter that might lead to something romantic. She used her eyes to ward off guys she wasn't interested in. Just as the train was about to depart, a handsome young man walked by. She felt an instant spark.
Yeah, it's free.
But to her disappointment, he walked right past her to another seat. She buried her face in a book to hide her embarrassment. The train soon reached the next station, and the beautiful woman with long hair got off. The girl couldn't help but feel secretly pleased. Finally, her chance had come. As the train started moving again, a food cart attendant passed by. Both she and the guy reached out at the same time to flag him down. Maybe the attendant was in a rush to use the bathroom, but he completely ignored them both. They caught each other's eyes and shared an awkward laugh, which broke the ice between them. Through their conversation, she learned she was talking to Jack, a programmer who'd moved in with his brother during the pandemic. She was a college student whose classes had been suspended. Jack complained about neck pain and asked if he could sit across from her. Curious, she asked why he'd chosen the seat next to hers earlier when there were two empty ones right here.
I just prefer to sit facing the direction we're going in, that's all.
Now you're sitting the opposite way.
Yeah, but I'm facing you.
His answer made her heart flutter. She offered to switch seats with him, bringing them even closer. They talked about everything, from the pandemic to their families, from their families to each other. The chemistry was undeniable, but all too soon, the train reached its final stop. They said their goodbyes reluctantly.
Bye.
So long. Wait!
Oh, wait, 583.
No. Meet me here on the 28th.
Are you sure you don't want my number?
I'm sure. You'll show up.
Jack, wanting to be romantic in an old-fashioned way, didn't ask for her number. She seemed to understand, and they left their next meeting up to fate before heading their separate ways. But the moment Jack got home, he kicked himself. He shouldn't have tried to play it cool when it came to love. His brother thought the girl would forget about him by morning, but Jack had faith in what they'd shared. Meanwhile, the girl told her mother all about the train encounter. Turns out she'd been single for 20 years, and her mom was thrilled at the prospect of her finally dating someone. Jack thought 2 weeks would fly by, but he couldn't even get through the first night without losing sleep. He found himself typing out messages to her that he'd never send. The girl was doing the same thing, jumping up every time her phone made a sound, only to be disappointed again and again. She started recording everything she wanted to say to him in her phone. Just as the promised day approached, devastating news came over the radio. Due to the pandemic, the citywide lockdown was extended from 2 weeks to 3, with no one allowed to travel more than 2 kilometers from home. The girl's confidence crumbled. She was sure Jack was too principled to break lockdown rules just for her. Her mother, however, wasn't having any of it.
I've got bets with all the neighbours on whether he'll show up. What? The whole street is on tenterhooks.
Jack was beside himself with frustration. He didn't want to miss out on true love. His brother tried to talk sense into him. The girl wouldn't show up, he said. She'd probably already forgotten about him. But both Jack and the girl hopped on their bikes and set off to find their love. Jack tried to sneak through the heavily patrolled streets but was stopped by lockdown enforcement officers. He poured out the whole story about meeting the girl.
2 weeks ago, I met the love of my life on a train. And if I don't get to see her now, I can't think if I'll ever get to meet her again.
Wow. I've heard a lot of excuses today, but that really is quite touching.
Right.
No, it's the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
On the other side of town, she faced the same obstacle. And so, the pandemic kept them apart. The girl's face showed nothing but frustration and regret. Jack sat defeated on some steps, cursing his stupid romantic gesture. Then he remembered. She'd gotten a delivery call on the train. Jack perked up immediately. The address wasn't that far from him, and he managed to get through without being stopped. Determined to pursue his love, Jack prepared for the long haul, stocking his car with supplies. As the camera pulled back, the story ended on an open note, leaving us to believe they would eventually find their way to each other.